We are continuing our candidate conversations in the 2022 race for Little Rock mayor. Right now, car dealer Steve Landers and Rock City Eats founder Greg Henderson have announced they're in the running. Tonight, THV 11's Ashley Godwin sits down with Greg Henderson to hear how he wants to grow the capital city.
The founder of Rock City Eats with a history of politics, Greg Henderson says if he's elected, he will restore relationships with the people of Little Rock and within the city itself.
I'm going to get in and I'm going to work with people throughout the community. I'm going to try to rebuild the city, because I think what happens right now is that Little Rock needs growth, but we're not really primed for growth.
Greg Henderson has run the publication Rock City Eats for about 10 years now, shining a light on our locally owned restaurants. Now he's hoping to help Little Rock through politics. He's run for Little Rock director in 2018 and 2020, but he says this election is different.
It kind of gives me a good feel of, what pockets of needs there are across the city.
Henderson says those needs are growing small businesses, better communication between city leaders and those living in Little Rock, and long-term problem solving. He says growing our small businesses is the key to growing Little Rock's economy.
So when you're looking at large businesses, say your large chain restaurants or your big box retailers, a lot of times they take success away from the small business, and a small business ends up impacting the local economy more than those big businesses.
He hopes if he gets elected, the first thing he can accomplish is better communication throughout the city.
You see, it's a lot of contention. It's a lot of, people not getting along, a lot of arguments. There's a lack of total trust between sort of the mayor's office and the board of directors.
Which in turn, he says, will lead to getting more things done and creating long-term solutions.
Going in and addressing just the problem that we're having today doesn't really resolve the situation. We'll just have it boil over again in 10 to 15 years after this. We really need to look at long-term planning and set ourselves up for success with crime, set ourselves up for success with economics.
In Little Rock, Ashley Godwin, THV 11 News.
We have reached out several times to set up an interview with Mayor Frank Scott Jr., but his office has not yet scheduled us a time to sit down with him. He has not said whether he will run for re-election or not.